Hey guys, it's Bear here, returning to Preparedness, helping you prepare not for your doomsday, but your everyday. So, in light of the whole coronavirus, COVID-19 deal that's going on, there's been a lot of conversations I've had with a lot of people, and they're talking about, and you see it all over social media, if you're on there. You see all the mass panic buying going on of toilet paper, and now it's food and cleaning supplies and everything like that. And people are up in arms about it. And the fact of the matter is that reality is, if you first, okay, for those of you who are not prepared, you clearly haven't been listening to me. Any friends or family who are having this conversation who are upset about the fact that people are panic buying and you can't find what you need, you clearly haven't listened to a word I've been saying. If you were, you would have had supplies and you would have been prepared. Topic for another day, but that's first and foremost, all right? Let that be a lesson to you for next time, okay? Because now it's a little too late to repair, but, anyways, the fact is in a previous podcast, I've stated that 52% of the people in the population of the United States don't have 3 days worth of food and water supplies in their home right now. Okay? 3 days. 52%. Over half of the population do not have 3 days worth of food and water. So now you take that 52% and you put them in panic mode and afraid of the possibility of being quarantined in their homes for 14 days. What do you think's going to happen? Now they're trying to rush out and get everything for 14 days because they had nothing. They had nothing. They were not ready at all. Again, FEMA, okay? FEMA, the worst organization out there for emergency response. We've all seen what happened. We've all seen their response in disasters like Katrina and Sandy and down in Houston, like during hurricanes. All right, we've seen their response. It's atrocious. And yet we rely on them, but even as bad as they are, all right, and we all know how bad they are, their recommendation is a minimum of 3 days. Their recommendation is 3 days, which means you should have weeks. If they're telling you 3 days and you see how they respond, you should have way more than that. But the fact remains 52% of people don't have any of that. Not even the 3 days that FEMA recommends. So then when panic starts to set in, I don't know why you're surprised by the fact that they're out there mass buying items. Like the media has set out this panic. People are afraid that they're going to get quarantined. They're afraid everything's going to be shut down. And they rush out there and buy as much as they can to help stockpile and prepare themselves for what the possibility could be. That shouldn't surprise anybody. That's why you prepare now. So you don't have to be one of those people. So you can go about your day-to-day life and you don't have to stress about the possibility that I may not have anything. My family may not eat. We may not be able to feed them. That's not something you need to worry about because of the fact that you prepared ahead of time. If you're watching my videos, if you're listening to my podcasts, right, and not just me, anybody in the preparedness realm, if you're watching videos, listening to podcasts, right, following them on social media, this shouldn't come as a surprise for you. You should already be doing this stuff. You should already be taking it to that level. Right? Start small. 3 days, first start with that. Then a week, then 2, then a month, then 3 months, then 6 months. Try and get to a year gradually. Okay? Again, now is not necessarily the time, but go out and buy a couple extra. There's nothing wrong with having a couple extra. If you rotate your stock properly, and you're buying what you eat, and you're storing what you eat, right? Storing what you use, and then buying a little extra of what you use, the next time you go to the grocery store and you buy some more, now you just rotate. So the stuff you had in storage, you pull out and you put that new stuff in storage. It's that simple. Right? We've talked about this in my beginning prep series. We all should be doing this. The ways of our grandparents. There was massive like polio and things like that affected our grandparents, our great grandparents, that they had to deal with. The Great Depression. But they survived better than we ever will because of the fact that they had storage. Not only did they rely less on the system and more on themselves, but they had storage. And even after the Great Depression, they went through it and they lived through it, and then they had storage because they didn't want to have to go through that again, those hard times. So they prepared, as we call it today, preparedness. They were prepared. We're not. And you see as events happen, the tick in preparedness, the interest in preparedness goes up, and then all of a sudden people forget and it drops back down. And we always are quick to, up and down and ebb and flow exactly what's going on in our world, because it's all about what's on our mind at the time. When we're not looking at the big picture. We're looking at here and now and not the big picture overall. Take this time now. Listen, hear what I'm saying. Prepare yourself. Be ready for the next one. And then you don't have to be like the masses out there trying to scrounge and find. Right? Buy a little bit extra each time. And that way you have enough so you're not in a panic. It's pretty easy. It's not hard. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It doesn't take a lot of money. Right? A few extra bucks every time you go to the grocery store. Buy a couple extra items and have it stockpiled. But the fact that people are surprised by the fact that this mass buying is going on. If you had nothing in your home and you were afraid you were going to be stuck there for 2 weeks and not be able to leave, I think you'd be out there buying everything you could right now too. Don't be surprised by it. It's what's going on. All right. Kind of went on that rant long enough. I'll keep this video short. Thanks for watching. This has been Bear with Journey to Preparedness, helping you prepare not only for your doomsday, but your everyday. Peace.